I have a dog who I take for a walk 3 times a day. First in the morning, then in the afternoon, and finally at night. I take him on the same route every time, which is through our driveway exit that leads to a cul-de-sac parking lot for the condominium complex we live in. This will make sense soon as to why I'm telling you this. On the night walk, I always go somewhat late. I'm not sure why, but it's been a habit ever since I've had him. And it's never been a problem for us until one night. I began our final walk of the day and went our usual route. I had a flashlight with me, as there are no lights in the parking lot, and I was listening to music with only one AirPod, as I feel it's for the best, just in case I hear something unusual. And I did. As I was approaching the parking lot, I heard something, a voice of some kind, up ahead of me, but I was completely zoned out in my own world of music. But then my mind finally caught up, and I stopped. I took the AirPod out and stood still to listen, just to see if I was only hearing things. Then it happened again. A voice that spoke ahead of me, but I couldn't see anyone. I did the stupid thing and continued to carefully walk forward, because I thought it was all in my head, but something didn't feel right about it. I stopped again, after a few feet, right next to where all the cars were parked. I had my flashlight pointed everywhere in front of me, staying still and listening. The creepiest thing that has ever happened to me yet was hearing a muffled voice, what sounded like a kid, say the word "help." My heart dropped so fast I couldn't move my legs. I frantically pointed my flashlight everywhere to see where it was coming from. I was sure it was coming from the cars, but I was completely thrown off by this. There wasn't a kid in sight or anyone nearby. It was just me and my dog, who didn't seem to notice anything, as he was just sniffing some bushes nearby. Then I heard it again. The word "help" was spoken 3 more times, and it was coming from my left side, where the cars were parked. It made me panic even more. I didn't know what to think of it, and I knew I wasn't imagining this when I saw my dog's ears perk up, and he was looking in the same direction I was facing after it happened. That's when it hit me how incredibly eerie all of this was. After hearing it multiple times, I realized the kid's voice didn't sound entirely like a kid. I don't know how to explain it, but it was like a mix of an adult and a child at the same time. Each time they called for help, not only was the voice always muffled, but it was spoken in a more generic statement as opposed to a cry for actual help every time. I mean that literally. There was absolutely no change in the tone, inflection, sound, or anything of the sort. My dog and I ran straight home afterward, and I tried to explain to my mom what happened. She was puzzled herself about what it could have been, and I suggested we call the cops on the off chance that there was actually someone in need of help, but she didn't think it was necessary. So many questions were conjuring up in my head. Why was the voice muffled? Was there someone in the car that I couldn't see? Or was it something darker waiting for me to move closer? I don't like to think too much about it, but whatever it was, it still makes me feel extremely disturbed to this day. This picture is where I had stopped and taken my AirPods out to listen, and I heard it up ahead on the left. This is where I had gotten closer and heard it on my left side. I'm aware that there's a condo complex on the right side, which some may think the noise was coming from, but it was in this direction facing the cars where my dog and I heard it. You can see from this point of view that there's nothing to really indicate a noise coming from somewhere else. Also, at the time this happened, the cars that were parked were trucks and SUVs, so they were a lot larger and covered more space, thus making it harder to see from where I was standing. I never figured this out,